Hi, welcome to the home of real leadership. And today on 13, we've got Brendan Barnes. Now, Brendan Barnes is a very close friend. Naked Leader wouldn't be as it is today if it wasn't for Brendan. He's one of the first people who showed faith in me personally. So this is really quite emotional for me to be interviewing an absolute hero of mine. Brendan is the founder of the London Business Forum. He's probably seen more speakers live than all of us put together. And he's a Bournemouth fan, so he's riding high at the moment, both in the Championship and with their upcoming South Coast quarter-final against Southampton. So that's very fitting in terms of why 13 is here. 1 minute to get into the dressing room, 1 minute to come back out again, and then 13 minutes, sorry, to change the game around. Brendan, hi.
Hi, David.
Nice to see you. What I've asked Brendan to do is, from the scores, if not hundreds of speakers that you've seen, and you've probably seen several of them many times, I'd like, Brendan, you to share the top 3 tips in presenting and in communication in any way you wish to, that you've seen over the years. I'm going to put you on speaker view because this is all about you, Brendan, and over to you.
Thank you, David, and thank you for this opportunity. So you're right, I've watched a lot of speakers in my life, many thousands, I would think. And my comments today reflect the new world in which we're all speaking and communicating, which is this virtual world. So what I'm going to say does apply when hopefully we all go back into the real world. But actually, I'm going to twist it slightly towards the virtual world that I think we're going to be in for longer than most of us hope, perhaps another year or 18 months, I believe, until certainly business events come back into the real world. So look, I've got 3 things for people to think about if they want to be a fantastic presenter and communicator. And the first one might sound blindingly obvious, but it's the content, it's the ideas. Some people say, well, it's how you say something that's more important than what you say. Of course, the reality is it's a combination of how you say something and what you say. But at the core of being a powerful presenter is having great content, great ideas. And at the moment, that means getting to them quickly. Think about it as sharing diamonds with people. People don't want to go through the whole process of mining, digging through all the layers of rubble you have to go through to get the diamonds. They want those diamonds, the nuggets, the gold nuggets. They want those core learning things that they can easily grasp, practical things that they can do that are going to help them think differently and behave differently. In the old world, in auditoriums, stories were so powerful. And I'm not saying stories aren't still powerful, but we have much less time in the virtual world. So keep the story shorter, get straight to the diamond. So first tip, it's ideas, it's content, but it's about quality, not quantity. Boil those ideas down. I know that's difficult. Think of the Gettysburg Address. How long is it? It's very short. Did it take a long time to write? Of course it did. So actually presenting ideas succinctly is much more difficult than presenting them over a long period of time. So in this virtual world, we've got to do things quickly. So you really have to plan carefully. Think about your diamond content. That's the powerful stuff. So ideas, content is my first thing, David. You might say, well, that's pretty obvious. What are the other 2? Well, the other 2 key ingredients to being a fantastic presenter. Number 2 is fun. Whatever your subject is, make it fun. Because by making something entertaining, we're all going to enjoy the experience of listening to whatever you're saying. That's not to say you need to be a joker. I'm not talking about jokes here. Leave jokes to comedians. But think about the way you present your content in such a way that people can connect with it. And stories, of course, are a very powerful way of doing that. But it is okay to have fun, especially at the moment. You know, we're all under a lot of pressure. Things are tough. You know, whatever sector you may be operating in, whatever discipline it is you're involved in, of course, things are tough. But it's okay to have fun. And actually, virtual events, and when we get back into the real world, real events are an opportunity for people to come together and have fun with each other. That's okay. So whatever your topic, whatever your subject, make it fun. And then the third magic ingredient is passion. Passion for your subject. If you're not passionate about whatever it is you're talking about or what you've been asked to talk about, can I give you a piece of advice? Decline the opportunity. Don't do it. Find somebody that is passionate about it, because again, in this virtual world, if somebody doesn't really care and doesn't have passion for their subject, you can multiply it by 10 as an experience when we're all watching. And this is why so many Zoom meetings suck the life force out of people. The fact is, we're not all, charismatic, cartwheeling presenters. I get that. But we're all passionate about something. We're all passionate about certain things. And those are the things that we should be talking about. So when you're thinking about who might be best to present something, who is it that has the real passion for that subject? Because that will translate through the virtual world and in real life. Sometimes it's better to keep people perhaps away from the formal presentations that people are being called on to do. And actually, technology enables more people to get involved, especially introverts. If you think about a theatre, actually, a lot of introverts will hide away at the back, perhaps. Well, I don't want to get picked on. I don't want to be involved. In the virtual world, through using chat and other tools that are available on digital platforms, people can get involved, but don't push people. Don't force people to present if they don't have that passion and confidence in front of the camera. There are other ways for people to get involved. So my 3 things, David: great content, fantastic ideas, boil it down into the diamond, the nuggets, the core information that you want to share with people. Secondly, do it in a fun way, because we all want to have fun, regardless of how serious the subject might be. And third, passion. Your passion will translate to inspiration for those people watching the session. Those are the 3 magic ingredients. And the best speakers have all 3. Most people only have 1 or maybe 2 of the 3. You get all 3, you've got a magic session, and people will go away from your virtual Zoom session or your speech in reality doing a dance of joy. And that's what we should be aiming for when we present in any kind of environment.
Wow, Brendan, you've taken what I think you said thousands of people that you've seen present, and you really have cut to the diamonds. I'm a bit disappointed one of the 3 wasn't wear black. However, you've obviously rushed over that one, and I'm sure that would have been your 4th. Brendan, you've reinvented London Business Forum. I mean, you used to go to quirky venues throughout London, and you specialized in it, and now you've brilliantly reinvented yourselves virtually. What do you put down? What were the challenges of doing that, and what's gone really well in doing that?
Well, David, it's been an interesting experience, because when the lockdown first came, I confess I was in denial. I thought, well, we'll just postpone these events for a few weeks and then we'll do them. And it suddenly dawned on me, I think after about 3 or 4 weeks, that was not going to happen. So I had to embrace the digital world. So what I did was I attended back-to-back Zoom meetings for 72 hours across the world without sleep. I evaluated what was going on. And what I realized was that the virtual world was the same as the real world. Most events are in fact shit. That's the reality.
Did you
but
really
it doesn't
do that?
have to be like that. Virtual events can be fantastic, just like events in the real world can be fantastic too. But here are some tricks, some core things that I learned and which we've incorporated into London Business Forum. First of all, you've got to involve people in the journey. I see so many virtual events using webinar-based technology that actually freeze out the people on the call. That's madness. If you want to embrace people, engage people, get some interaction, use the meeting platforms, the platforms which encourage people to be on that journey with you. I see events and I see the speaker and I see the host, and they're sat in front of a nice warm fire, having a very friendly conversation. All the other users, sometimes hundreds of them, are sat outside in the cold, watching through a window. And occasionally, one of them might get lucky to have a question chosen to be asked of the guru. No, I don't agree with that. bring everybody into the main room. Let people be able to unmute. Does that mean you might hear some strange noises occasionally? Yes, and that's okay. It's okay to have something that isn't perfect, that you don't completely control. That's the magic of the virtual world. And as I mentioned earlier, virtual encourages more introverts to get involved. It's not dominated by those people that have all that confidence, that can put their hand up and ask questions and make points. Actually, using chat, you can get everybody to communicate at the same time. And actually that adds to the power of the ideas that you explore in the session. It becomes not just about the expert, it becomes about all the expertise in the room. It encourages that in. So I think virtual events are even more powerful than real events. And when we go back to real events, we'll struggle in some ways to incorporate some of the things that we can do using technology that actually it's going to be very difficult to do in an auditorium. So I think things have fundamentally changed forever. But if you're just about to organize a meeting, prepare for it, plan for it. What's the purpose of it? How are you going to involve people in it? Because if it's just you having a conversation with somebody and all the users watching don't have a role to play, you're freezing them out of the journey.
Wow, diamonds, fun and passion, all demonstrated. I mean, I will just say to anyone watching this, London Business Forum is worth checking out and definitely worth joining. I can assure you from personal experience, Brendan, it looks seamless on the day. It's great fun, very involving, breakout rooms and everything. Brendan prepares you to within an inch of your life. And I mean that positively, Brendan, in terms of dress rehearsals, getting it absolutely right in terms of the materials. And it all pays off. He really, really does prepare. Brendan, I mean, today you've shown yourself to be a consummate speaker. Have you ever had to stand in for anyone who's not turned up ever in the past?
Well, we did have back in the day a speaker did not turn up, David, when we were operating in the real world. About 5 minutes to go, our speaker had not arrived, and I was thinking that I would have to do some tap dancing and entertain the delegates. But actually, would you believe we had the speaker that was due on in the afternoon had said, can I come and watch the morning session? So actually had a wonderful professional speaker. I'm sure he won't mind me mentioning who he is. His name was Paul McGee. And at 5 minutes notice, Paul McGee gave a presentation on the subject that the speaker that didn't turn up was supposed to give.
Wow.
It was remarkable. And I'll tell you what, he got a standing ovation as well. So that could have been me, but Paul McGee stepped in. It was an amazing performance.
He presented in the afternoon as well?
Sorry, David.
Did he present in the afternoon as well?
He did. He did present in the afternoon. But I'll tell you, the morning was actually about speeches, speech writing, presentation skills. And he gave this presentation, which obviously, he is an expert in that and had presented on the subject before. But one of his slides that he used said, "Don't wing it."
How brilliant. Brendan, we're almost out of time. I do want to share one experience of you, though, because you come across as I'm all back office and behind the scenes. I was very fortunate to do some charity events with London Business Forum for Hospice UK. And Brendan went on first, and he is hilarious, absolutely hilarious. So I think probably he will appear on one of his own speaking gigs soon. Brendan, absolute honor, as always, to spend time with you. Thank you ever so much.
Thank you, David.